Take 3. Hi, this is Mia, and I think I accidentally shut down this website. I don't have the money for these herbs, and they're not wholesale price. It's a tough call, guys. This is definitely not wholesale. So if I were to get 4 items for $100, for $74, 2 is like $30 minus 30%. I think that's 30%. So if it's $30 and you have, this would be $9. So it'd be about the rate you get from Vitacost. So I had to do this video over because I'm looking at my computer and different things, and I don't like wearing the glasses and the reflection, so I'm all paranoid. So I'm going to delete the other video. Oh yeah, they're going to add the taxes on. I don't even see the total price anymore. So they add, I don't see that. I don't even see anything. What the heck? Okay. I gotta face the music, and I don't even know what this other product has in it. Let me look. Let me look and see what's in here. So I was just saying in the other video to go and see the healthcare provider, and this is $40 on Vitacost. Wow. Well, there's 120. Oh yeah, just have pepper in it, but sunflower less than. I don't think this is raw. Oh, so there's only 60 in this one. The $39.99 on Vitacost. Exclusive offer for honey, $5.99 cash back with purchase if you spend $40 or less. I hate this rush. So 60 is $29.99 on the website, but on Vitacost, $40 for for 120, and $30 for 60. But there's a coupon that would make it $21 for 60. So you'd still be paying, depending on if. This sucks. What happened to? Hold on. Let me pause the video because I am a sucker. So I could have bought this for my patients for the clinic on the wholesale. I could have. None of my patients I bought for their website. I think you get a couple dollars. You can offer them discounts, which I'm not even going to worry about the discounts. But I offered them discounts, and you can have. So if you pay wholesale and you charge twice as much, as you have to have a minimum fee for your patients. Some prices on the medicinary are not wholesale, but they still have a minimum price. So that should be the same with most products if you own a store or you're running the clinic with your own medicinary. So you have to be careful because nobody really buys any from me except for once in a while. and then I have to do cash pay, and well, the only people that buy in it as the people on Medicaid, and I had to have them sign a piece of paper every 30 days that says that they understand that there's this out-of-pocket cost that's not mandatory, and for Oregon, and that they could get this somewhere else, and that it's not a non-covered service has to be signed every 30 days if they were to buy a nutritional product from me. Usually it's just a nutritional food, high quality food that's hard to find. I have people that are illiterate, they cannot drive, so I deliver some products, but I haven't done it in the other states where there's sales tax, so I'd have to add in the sales tax and submit that to the, so if I sold at $10 or $1, I think if I had a tax state, so Washington and Maryland would be $4 or $6 or something, or 6%, sorry, 6%, so $1 would be 6 cents or whatever, the tax, and so I had to do that. I haven't had any patients in Washington. I've kept my license for years. I have 0 patients. Isn't that embarrassing? So, it's so embarrassing. I just messed up, and they said, oh, get 20% off of these gummies if you order now for elderberry, which I'm not, and they also have rice in them, so I can't even take them in emergency, and I'm like, what am I doing? And I ordered them, and I feel like an idiot. Because I could have got those on Vitacost or do the health sale, or I don't have the money for this, so you must get your eBay store out. So let's switch gears. That was giving me a headache. I feel really anxious today. I was watching somebody on YouTube that was on my 600 pound life, or I don't know what it's called, because I haven't actually seen the show. I've seen snippets of this show, and it's really bad because there's only these parts or these people editing and sampling these videos and putting them together, and it's not giving me the whole show. Or maybe there isn't a whole show. Maybe it just introduced the characters and they come back. I don't know, since I've never seen the actual show. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's 6:21. The day has been getting light for at least 20 minutes. I'm pretty anxious. It's not that cold out, I thought, but it's cold enough. I looked out and saw a vehicle frosty. Oh, it actually got colder. So it was 31, and now it went down to 29, and it's supposed to be a high of 55 and a low of 35. I don't think that's that bad, even though it says low of 35, but it says it's 29. So about 2 hours ago, it was 31. And then Wednesday is supposed to be high of 57, low of 33. So we got to figure out the energy situation with the lighting and the heat. These machines here, if you want to turn the heat down, they don't let you, somehow they don't. There's cold air that comes out, then hot air that comes out, then cold air, and it goes back and forth. And I feel like this is the worst efficiency ever. I am frightened that we're going to have a $600 bill. It's going back and forth, and it's just, I want to have a heater where I say heat to, 68 degrees, period. I don't want it going back and forth between AC and heat, because then you're just getting cold air blown on you, and you're worse off than if you just turn the stupid thing off. The place has holes. There's no real ceiling or walls. There's low, just cracks everywhere. The doors are horrible. I can look, the kitchen is on a second floor. I can look down at the kitchen door and see the ground, because it's all open and cracks, and wonder why critters get in here if they could just walk freely in. And the door that goes to the stairs that's not climate controlled is just got gaps like this, and the same as a house in Portland. You could see outdoors, and I mean, rats could get in your house because the landlords don't fix the crap And it sucks to be like, I need to save my money so I can buy my own place, and then I waste it all on these herbs that I'm like, idiot. Like, I'm so mad at myself. Anyways, that's a whole different story. You better go to work, Mia. I've been looking at the train policy about the train workers unions. So they say if even one of them, I think it's at 12 unions, if one of them, one or more, do not agree and everyone else does, then they all stand by each other. And that reading that Congress could force workers to not picket or to not walk off and to actually have to work. And the isn't there supposed to be a truckers strike? Let's look that up, guys. It's early in the morning on Tuesday, the 22nd, Tuesday before the holiday. I am... what is this? Alliance for amoxicillin shortage. Can compounders help? What was that other? I thought it was the powder. What was the one that was the powder? This is welcome to your new account. I should not have ordered that stuff. I am having buyer's remorse. I don't have the money for that. I had something that I needed to buy my kids, and I am very freaked out. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. And I could have ordered those gummies with the 30% off coupon. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, let's move on back to search engine. Alright, so we have let's see, I'll just type in truckers strike and see what comes up. So I don't know what this ttnews.com, so I'm not going to click it. Okay, this is old. So let's go to 2022 in the U.S. So here's something from September. So there's something on the railroads, also in September. There's not actually a lot of anything. So September 13th, thetrucker.com, there's a headline by the Associated Press. Biden to call on truckers, ships, planes, if freight railroad strike. So everything in here is months old. I don't see even anything October. So it'd probably just be the railroad. There's a truckers strike in Spain. So let's just do a scenario then. You have a truckers and or railroad and or who knows, the airplanes, and you end up so we went to Aldi, spent $43. I went in to get one candy bar for my kids and see if they had Pocky, and came out with $43 of food that I plan on paying for the candy, and then I got food for everyone. So one of those candy bars, spoiler for my kids' holiday present, was expired, so I went and replaced it. I should have replaced them both, to tell you the truth, but I ended up going and I really should. I might, 'cause I'm about to go back. So we got turkey breasts for, was it between $11 and $12. So say like 12. I got some turkey lunch meat and cheese. I always hope that I actually put it in the fridge, and that would have been, I'm about to go check. It's probably too late now if that got left out. And that would have been, I'm thinking around $4 each. So 12, let's see, that's $20. We spent like 43. So just for the meat and the cheese. Then we got the candy and the snacks. Let's say 2 for $20. We got the candy and the snacks. I'll say that's another 10, that's 30. And then 2 gallons of water, 1 avocado, 2 boxes of no-name crackers. That's about 4, and then a pack of zucchini. So that'll be about $43. Oh, and bananas. Oh, and watermelon. So, considering how high the price of food, everything is higher. Remember when the no-name saltine crackers were like 75 cents? I mean, I'm thinking of the 80s or the 90s. Remember when canned food, vegetables, you could get some for like 35 cents a can, $3 for $1 or something. I was getting that at places that were convenience stores. The price is more expensive than the grocery store. Didn't get any more types of fruit, so I got 2 types of fruit. The zucchini kind of is a fruit, but and the avocado is kind of fruit. So now leafy vegetables. I got leafy vegetables from the farmer's market, and I got leafy vegetables from leftover that I have to go through. And we didn't get a whole turkey. We probably could have got a whole turkey for that price. And oh, okay. So I think that could be one of the cheapest stores. We didn't have that amount of money to be spending, and you just saw me spend money on these vitamins because I was afraid, or these supplements, that I was going to see more shortages. For some reason on this Medicinary, a bunch of this brand's products are sold out or discontinued. There's 2 that I use, at least 2 that I use. Do I have 2 or do I have 3? Glycerites are sold out, so I just end up buying that glycerite. And then the website, okay, this is weird too. Thinking about supply shortage or changes, having the one site that costs more can't get the wholesale rate for my clinic. I told a patient to go to that site. They were my actual patient, because the item that I was waiting for, I also had a discount on their account and it disappeared. This is weirding me out. But these people have, the Medicinary had a alcohol-based tincture, and the other website had the glycerite-based medicine, liquid medicine. And I'm like, what? And so I was like, why is the ingredient so different? And then the one product that was the professional was sunflower lecithin as an ingredient, and the other one, or the one that was the professional one, was soy lecithin, and the one that was the over-the-counter, which is usually the same thing, said sunflower lecithin. So I'm like, what in the world? Like, and I've had that issue. Even these gummies have rice in them, and I can't eat rice. I'm not going to eat a gummy, really. I shouldn't even eat these supplements. I have all the herbs to make the teas, in case there is a shortage. I've done that before. I ran out of this medicine, and I had a harder time with my education. There's me finding out about ADHD and severe PTSD and depression. And I don't I feel stupid thinking about it, but I don't even know what kind of depression, because what's the point of having a therapist diagnose you and not talk about the exact diagnosis, not give you any handouts, not give you any treatment for it, and it's just like, oh well, we did this survey or whatever, and you're positive, and I do it again in 2 years, a year and a half, and oh, you're still at that level, and just work on the treatment plan and not follow a treatment plan, and the treatment plan is just something they have. I'm not a counselor, so my treatment plans are just really individualized, specific. Like, what do you want? What are you doing? Keep doing this, emergency stuff, emergency phone numbers, different types of groups, or, just support written down, which I actually have to do that in a few minutes. So we're going to go to delete that other video, which I don't like doing because I rather just edit. So today, the time, we're going to go down to today, and I actually, let's see, I'm going to have to look at the details. So, what is the date on these? This is weird to me. 11/22. So there's actually 3 from 11/22. So that one is literally like a few seconds. So properties of the first one, it's actually a whole gigabyte, 15 minutes. And I am going to delete it. Okay. I hate doing that. 15 minutes is a gigabyte. Oh, I need to get rid of a bunch more. So, we're going to do a scenario where we'll just say that there's a big storm. We don't want to say anything strike or anything. We'll say there's a big storm that goes across the entire country, and there's a bunch of ports, and we'll say it's in the holidays, and you have the U.S. where the trucks go like that, and the planes come in and out with all of our stuff, whether it's clothing, it could be coats, it could be dog food, it could be food, medicines, not even just herbs. People say just herbs, but herbs that you use daily, and you can feel the difference when you don't use them, and regular prescriptions, and then the refrigerated trucks doing the everyday foods, fruits, vegetables, dairy, meat, fish, everything, nuts, packaged items, household goods, toilet paper. If you were going to go look through your cabinets and your everything, even like car parts, oil, windshield washer fluid, so you're going to go through your house, if you have a house or apartment, or if you live in a van. Do you have toiletries, even soap, shampoos, female products, hygiene products, condoms, like anything that you would say, oh, I'm almost out of deodorant, should I get some now? Like, the deodorant I was getting is over $10 for a small, it's not even like a jumbo or double pack, like $10 for one deodorant. they changed ingredients. It smells more like artificial perfume than the roses that it smelled like before. They changed the ingredients. The stuff that looks more expensive, they've put less of it in. I'm just finding that with supplements that I call high quality, they're putting stuff in there that I'm allergic to that wasn't in there for the whole years that I've been using these products. And then I don't know about it. So if you stock up and you're like me and you're like, I don't really have the money, I just put it on a credit card, and you're like, this is stupid not to scramble and pay $2,000 on my credit card in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, plus the $3,000 to the rent. Oh my gosh, I don't make that much money. I don't have enough old clothes to sell to make $5,000 in 3 weeks. What do you do? If you can I feel like people have different types of heating, electric, gas, oil-based, propane. And what about your electric? People are getting those meters that they're able to regulate and lower your temperature or lower your energy. Someone said that they had some regulator where you couldn't have your air conditioner under a certain amount, and they had this like medical condition where they needed to have their air conditioner on a certain rate at 24 hours a day, and they had a doctor's note, and the power company would not. This was on Tommy's Carolina homestead. One of the comments, what do you do when your power company is like, too bad, you can't have heat, you can't have cooling? People said they diverted the energy from the poorer neighborhoods over to the wealthy neighborhoods that did not have restrictions on their big houses. We are boiling slowly in a pot like frogs, and we're seeing this, and we have people that I don't know, so I can't tell you if they're reputable sources or not, but you can hear it from so many groups of people saying, oh, they've been trying to put that on my house for months. Oh, they said they're going to charge me extra if I don't get that monitor thing, that automatic thing that can cause a brownout or cut the power off in the high peak hours of the day, or, this and this and this. Oh, they came to go do mine and they couldn't because I had a fence in my yard. Or, oh, they did this while I was on vacation, and after, months of me telling them, no, you don't have permission to. So I've been reading different reports and I'm not liking it. What about the person who couldn't have the AC on? What if she had a homestead and had to run a generator, a propane generator or something, in order to have a unit maybe in a room where she could regulate it? What if she's like me and rents, and you have holes the size of rats that your heat in cool is just being sucked right out, or you have no insulation in the walls or in the roof on the attic, nothing. You got water pouring in places, you got mold, and you're paying money to stay alive. You're paying money to pay the rent to keep the roof on your head, which is the bare minimum, without being able to actually, instead of paying the high rent, that's 3 times what it would cost for the same place to buy on your own land, where you can have a garden, a little kiddie pool for Pete's sakes, and you could use that extra money to get insulation put in. You could use that extra money to seal off the cracks and replace the doors and the door jambs or whatever they're called, and install insulators on your water tank, your water heater. Install filters on your sinks and your showers that are your whole building, whole house, so you don't have to keep buying the filters and the bottled water. And I feel like I get stuck in this being at the mercy of somebody else's fortune. Their fortune is more valuable than those of us that are paying to keep them rich. And people, I'll say I'm low income, I can't afford this, and bank wouldn't give me a loan because I asked them to deny. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but I guarantee that the people that are renting and paying these $600 heating bills for 700 square feet, we're not necessarily low income. We're working multiple jobs, and we're trying to get the highest paying job that we can just to make someone else rich. Does that make sense? And if we were different skin color, different marital status, different look, different job that you were blessed to have for 2-3 years, then you can go buy your home for $279 and tell everyone that you're modest and pay your $1,500 a month mortgage and tax and insurance and not be paying $2,000-$3,000 to live in what feels like a cardboard shack that you cross your fingers when you see all the watermarks dripping down the walls, that your stuff doesn't get ruined by rainwater, and snow melt and stuff. It's just so heartbreaking. People don't realize when they haven't made that, they think that people that are stuck with the banks refusing to lend, with the realtors refusing to show the homes. All the houses I saw that were for sale by owner, all this stuff, you sign up and get this junk mail and the phone calls in the middle of the night, and people like, we want to sell it now, like just pouncing on you. And now we're actually able to get a hold of the actual seller or the for sale by owner, or they're like, this is a vacant lot and it's all unmaintained, there's no water, there's no sewer, there's no septic, there's no electric, but we're going to sell it for $500,000, like, because it has investment potential. Some investor will buy it, and I don't have a loan for land for $500,000 just because someone could put 4 or 5 houses on it one day after you have it formally separate. Like all that stuff, it's like, those are the type of homeowners that I contact, and they're realtors. So what do I do as a plain old person when people look at you and say you're poor, you don't have a job, you don't have this? We're poor because we're making the rich man richer and not investing in ourselves because we're being blocked. And most of us in our right minds would not stay stuck in this cycle of poverty and being ripped off unless we were stuck. There's no bankruptcy, no criminal history. Like you can have a regular job from the day you're 16 on, your taxes filed, and you could just show every month's rent for the past 20 years and they don't care. You're not trying to get a variable interest rate. It's going to start at 1% and end up at 20% or whatever crap, You're just trying to be like I missed out on those 3.25 and 2.75, and it's sick. It's sick and it's sick. And then you're at the mercy of not being able. Everyone's like, oh, get a wood stove, get a pellet stove, do this, get an alternate source, get a sleeping bag, set the tent up in your house. Plastic your windows, get the foil bubble wrap to put on your house, and this and this. You got rentals, like, you can only have white curtains showing, you can only have this. It's like, I had a broken refrigerator for 10 years, threw out thousands of dollars worth of food. But you're going to tell me that there's rat-sized holes in my front and back door, and holes under my windows, where the snow, people have snow coming in their house, and you're like, windows closed, doors closed, heater on, telling you have to turn the heater on, you're going to be in trouble if your pipes break. It's like the wall under the kitchen sink is not even insulated. What in the world? It's just like the pipes go right outside, right? It's like you just stick your finger in. I'm wondering where all these freaking slugs were coming into the kitchen underneath the sink and underneath the dishwasher because there was just, I mean, I might as well have been in a freaking tent with plumbing hooked up to the side of it and a bunch of holes for critters to get in. I mean, it's ridiculous, guys. So be careful if you and your partners make 5 or 10 grand a month together and you look at someone driving an old car wearing raggedy old clothes and shoes and you say that person doesn't work hard enough. That person could be like me last year, working 6 jobs, 7 days a week around the clock, and being on call for more high-paying jobs where people stopped hiring me because I was so stressed out from the other jobs and far away from the birthing places and stuff where I could get paid a decent wage. And that's the thing, it's not an everyday thing for me, it's on call. So you don't want to miss any of those because you get a chunk of money. And part of that money is because some of the time and the travel that you spent being on call and in town for them being available. And that's a whole nother story. You can look at the drug shortages. Why was I thinking about the amoxicillin? Why was I thinking about, the Tylenol suspended, or the powder. So let's look up that. I should have gone back to sleep, guys. I feel really sick right now. Like, what's today? Tuesday? So if I were to ship oh shoot, I never shipped anything. If I were to ship something, it will get stuck on Thursday, but it would continue on its journey. So I had the Cologuard test. They said it has to be received, I think, 48 to 72 hours. So I better do that I better read the instructions. I think I'm going to plan on doing it on Friday. Or maybe even Monday. Oh, crap. I gotta get to the post office and send my kids some stuff. So try to get it there. Trying to conserve what we have, amoxicillin shortage, and brass. These are all videos. I want to read something. So some formulations commonly used for children. So the 500 milligram tablets are on back order, and the company estimates a release date of early December 2022. So that's just in a couple of weeks. The 125 milligram chewable tablets are on an intermittent back order, and the company is releasing supplies as they become available. So I'm wondering, when we did burst, we did the amoxicillin for the Group B strep positive IV medicine. So it comes in a powder in a vial, and then you have to put the IV water in. At least the ones we use, they had to shake it until it's not granular, and then you had to insert that into the IV bag. It was pretty intense. Like, so all that stuff I need before I can even consider doing the births. I have it in my bag, or make sure that my assistant has it, or my assistant, some of his assistants. I would have to pay assistant more to come earlier to the birth, or to have them come and do the meds and then leave. That's the thing about running a business and get the reports of all of the labs and stuff for your patients and doing the research, and you don't get paid for that. So someone's think, man, this doctor charged insurance $500, received $120 for a 2-hour visit, and I don't realize all of the lead up to that and the post of that. And when it's a facility, they're going to have not just the doctor who's the sole provider doing the phone calls, the internet, paying for the EHR, and paying for the internet, the building, the overhead, the billing person, the claims specialist, the office managers, and like not even counting the providers that get a salary, probably a nice chunk of money, and just all of these things. And then the grants, they have grant writers and people checking on all that stuff, and just all of this stuff that you're going to complain if you see what your naturopathic doctors charge and only receives, and you're going to complain if you don't want to pay $80 for a 90-minute visit. That's a health call where someone's got to drive 1.5 hours one way to get there and 1.5 hours. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't, if you were driving, you would pay the gas at least. You know what I mean? I don't know how to say it. You'd pay your own gas to get to that provider, and you would say, hey, that's part of doing business. But if the provider asks for the money as out-of-pocket cost, they're going to be like, that's lame, but you wouldn't expect to be like a delivery driver. You wouldn't expect to go drive and buy food for someone and drop it off, and you spent $100 on the food, on the gas, and not even counting your time, and they only paid you $10. So you're out $90. Like, people don't understand that. I'm out money if I rent an office building. I'm out money if I do a house call. But you hope that you get enough to break even and then some. And if you're paying by the hour, then it sucks, because half of the visit money is going to that office space. So they're getting rich off you. If you have an office space where you have it on a monthly basis or 2 days a month, and you can work up to 8 hours a day, then that could be a different story. You're going to pay no matter you have patients or not. So then you want to meet them there. But that's all in the profit and loss and what you need to do. People don't want to just survive, they want to thrive, right? There's 2 videos that YouTube channels. Well, I'm going to go get my tea. I might make a second video. Okay, there's 3. One is just named Crystal with a K, and I said this the other day. I don't think I posted it. She was on this 600-pound life, having the situation where you how do I say this? Having the situation where she talked about having the medication and the therapy for the mental disorder, and the people are judging her on physical stuff, just who she is, and that's so rude. If you don't, why get on and say, I don't like your hair, I don't like this, I don't like your face, I don't like what you're eating, that's who they are, and you don't have to like them, but it's like, why can't you just turn it off? I feel like people are trying to control others and want them to do certain things with their life. Like, even if that was your spouse or something, I don't like your weight, I don't like how your hair is, I don't like your teeth. Like, I don't know. If your marriage spouse said, hey, that you're going to change for someone or put up with that. But in my mind, it's like, you are who you are, and you're grateful to be alive another day, and tomorrow's any day. The Full Spectrum Survival has 2 different medical companies that are doing emergency meds. I can't tell you what to do, so you can go to their channel, because sometimes they have speeches or talks with some of the workers or people from those companies. I personally would have to talk to patients about if somebody hired me and they had an opinion or wanted my suggestion as the provider for their specific case. Like I said, a lot of times people are already working with a PCP, and so I would have to direct it onto them, so I give information. So this is what I'm doing now. It's like information. People can get prescribed something, but we don't need to like, we don't really need to self-medicate. That's hard. That's a sticky place to be. And in the event of an emergency, bridge closure, island flooded, shortage, a storm, or internet or power outage, you can't even do that. Even as like Walgreens or something, or your insurance company could be out, like just their system's down. So it's like, oh, we're not gonna sell you these meds that your doctor just prescribed because your insurance system is down and we can't verify your insurance to cover it, or you want to pay $700 out of pocket, stuff like that, right? Sometimes I have something, they're like, we're not even going to fill it because it costs too much. They don't even say, do you want to use GoodRx? Or, you know what I mean? Like, they don't even say, hey, it's this much money. Hey, it's an EpiPen, it could save your life, but too bad your insurance only covers twice a year, so live or don't. Like, just don't be exposed to anything. Like, that's just one of the rudest. They talk about insulin, like, man, oh man, there's so many things that you could die without. And they don't even, like, I don't want to pay that $700-800. I get a wholesale rate, I see, like, the same price for a 2-pack. And I even had some faulty ones and some ones that were, like, expiring like a month after I got it. It's ridiculous. There's something online, I think it's the FDA, about expired meds because of the meds shortage. And there's pages and pages and pages. And I was flipping through that, and they're saying this add another year if it expired October 2022. I'm not trying to say that each med, but you gotta look, because some are dangerous if they're expired. But it's saying, in light of the shortness, is that OSHA could come to the hospital and clinic and go through and see expired, and they say, you're in trouble. So, and I haven't looked at this in a week. And then what was the next? Oh, I used to watch frequently the Rockstar Flipper. And I used to see the post on YouTube. I used to see the posts on Facebook, but I haven't been using Facebook. So I watched one. He's a lot of clickbait that I had. This is the only channel that sends something to my email address. I don't know how I set it for email notification, but said something, said I lied. I was like, I'm not going to watch this mess. But I've been having trouble sleeping, so like, let's listen to something quietly, And a lot of times these ones of his are now 5 minutes. So I had started watching this person a long time ago when I got laid off and I started selling the clothes off my very back. I ended up being just putting a post talking about fourth quarter sales being your money earners, and then he's like, oh well, that wasn't true, and some people say in the comments, you weren't really lying, you're just like, I mean, you predicted something that. It's still the fourth quarter, let's just put it that way. We still have a month. We still have 5 weeks left. But I said something like, yeah, we still have time. And there's some kind of response and a like, which is pretty rare for me to get when I do. I can see when these YouTube sensations, is that the word, they get all their favorite viewers, and they get the talking about how they're chatting with these people and blah blah blah, and I get disappointed because I'm like, I'll be watching your channel and liking and sharing and telling you about it and commenting, and that all pushes the algorithm, pushes them up, so they get more clicks, more subscribers, more view time, and more money. So I hated when I'd send all these, every other person would get a heart and love your comment, thank you, you're one of our regulars. I was like, you don't understand that there's a foundation group of people that either sit quietly and watch you and share and watch every one of your videos, beginning to end, commercials, that are quiet, and there's a foundation group of people that are loud and make a lot of noise, and never once. So on the full spectrum survivor, I never once got any kind of heart or good comment. So I just appreciate when someone acknowledges someone. They don't have to memorize something. I mean, look at me. People are going to have a certain look or group or type of person or some kind of other guru that they're going to be like, oh, I think this person's cool. I'm going to say something about these people. I'm going to make them an admin, or it's a person with a wrench. My leg is bothering me. I'm tired of sitting like this. Sorry. I'm feeling pretty sick. I've been doing physical therapy because the place has a pool. I won't really use the pool. It hurts my throat. I might really use the pool because they didn't suggest that, and they didn't. I don't think my insurance would even cover that. But I'm really upset because I want to not be exposed to the chlorine, and I've been feeling sick, and I'm trying to persevere. My ankle was bothering me all yesterday, and today I feel like I really do need to prop it up today and take maybe a couple short walks. It's 7. I'm going to do the some of the charting I need to do. I'm going to finish wrapping some of the stuff for my kids and just get it out, and then I really want to do the other charting that I need to do and follow up with some people, because tomorrow's the day before Thanksgiving. I do have an appointment tomorrow, at least one, and I need to do a lot of stuff. I got some paperwork that has to be done it's due by the beginning of December. It's like, you need, or even the end of December. So you need to do it. I need to still update all of my card information, my credit card. 3 years ago, I did not have everything. I didn't have anything on auto pay, and now everything is on auto pay. So it's my first time having to update. And I think with Xfinity, it actually had the new date. So I was like, how'd they know the new expiration date? So that is, I have a huge list. I misplaced it. I have to find that. And I'm trying to put some of that stuff on my cell phone calendar. I wanted to do some food and clean up. I'm just feeling really sick. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I was at the physical therapy trying to mask the chlorine from getting out my nose, and I just feel sick, and I feel a stomach ache, and I'm not, people are coughing and sneezing and touching everything, and touching the stuff that my provider was touching, and not washing their hands, and I was just grossed out. I was like, y'all need to settle it. Like, every place that would be like mask optional, and do not come if you have a cough and sneeze and this and this. I was like, why is that on your door? Why can't the employees, like, sometimes people say they have allergies, and like, oh, I hope you don't think I'm sick. Like, but usually those people were wearing a mask or two, and out of courtesy, because you never know, especially people have kids in school and stuff. But it's a different holiday. There's people dealing with different things. There's people saying that they went somewhere and they got free Thanksgiving dinner and all this stuff. And I feel jealous because I've never, ever in my life been able to sign up for any of those programs around the community for myself or my kids or my partner. And it's sad. And I don't eat the meat, but my family members do. We did have someone from church give us a turkey, and that's it. And they made us invite someone over, and it was a nightmare. And we didn't even have an oven. Thank God it was already cooked, and we had to use the community room. And then we invited these people over, and they refused to ride the bus. I had to go and drop them off and pick them up, and they wanted to just veg out and watch TV and have dessert. But I'm like, we have a curfew. You guys have to leave at 9. Like, it was, and I had to drive their butts home. Like, I don't even know how I fit everybody. I had 5 people in this little raggedy old car. This rag beat up my mom's, my ex-husband beat up my mom's, got wrecks with my mom's Ford Tempo. It's just, I felt through stuff. And somebody yesterday, the person who was talking about me still being in school, I'm like, I've been running a private practice. People cannot see me as a doctor. They call me a homeopath. They can't see me as a naturopathic physician or a naturopathic doctor who runs their own clinic and makes money at it. But they also were like, oh, I couldn't have done what you did and been alone and not have support and not raise kids and this and this. And I'm like, I looked her in the eye and I said, you could do it. And my mind wakes up this morning worries, like, this person was that supermodel look, and they had a professional degree. Like, you got it made. But you still could have depression. You still could have fear. You could have anxiety or feel like you have no friends. It's like, you're not immune to that because you look like a supermodel. You have the look that everybody wants and the body type, and you're lucky. You have a husband. People have big rings and stuff. I get envious. I could never be like her and feel like things would be a little bit easier to get a house, to get a job, to get a husband. But it's like you look someone in the eye and you say, you can do it. Or maybe you can't, but if you had to do it, you would do it. You would do what it would take. And I used to feel more worse as a black person, especially with abuse my whole life growing up. It's just a nightmare. And I feel like when I was volunteering, because I couldn't get a job, so I was volunteering at the hospital for 2 years for free as a direct patient care. Could you imagine everybody around you making tons of money? Vacations, sick days, holiday pay, retirement, insurance, and you're working for free. And you're a doctor. But I saw one patient. And it wasn't the patient, it was the visitor. And she was had that look that you feel like if she went into the store, people wouldn't follow her around thinking she was going to steal stuff, That look that everybody thinks that you're supposed to look like at that age. And you imagine that they probably look like what everyone thinks that someone's supposed to look like when they're 20 years younger and 40 years younger, And she told me that her husband had left and she had to raise the kids alone and pay for everything and work. It made me feel like it's not just me, and I knew people like that were getting a lot of stuff for free, getting rides, people were helping the kids that were white. They were getting, people were trusting, like more trusting and more able to help versus being black. They feel like it's a disease, it's going to be contagious, or that you're going to rob them or find out where they live and break into their car and steal their, like garage door openers. I don't know, people thinking weird kind of stuff, but it just reminded me that just because they have that look, that looks like you got it made, and they probably did have it made, probably got a profession when the kids went back to school and all that, but not even got child support. I don't think she did. And I said, yeah, I know how it feels, it's hard, and she gave me inspiration, because it didn't make me just feel like it's only people of color, and we know that, but there's a lot of people that people make fun of that are in poverty that will raise the... I know less people of color on welfare than like I had known of growing up, the whites that were on welfare. I don't know anyone in my family, not one person on welfare. I think my aunt might have lived in some kind of cheaper apartments, but she ended up buying a house. She probably did what grandma did. Work, save up money, raise your kids, and then when you get the house, get the house. So I've been the only one who's been a doctor, and I've been the only one that's been that I know of to use any type of food stamps or food pantry and all that, and it's embarrassing. And I said I'm gonna go and not wait till my kids are 18 to go to. I was gonna wait till my kids were 18 to go to college, to medical school, and I was gonna work a regular job, but the regular job was paying half the price per hour of the daycare, so I was like, I'm just going to take a chance and go into debt, and I was ignorant about the interest rates on the loans, and the loans rate went up, skyrocketed, as I went through pre-med and med school, and it's a nightmare for me. And I think of the nightmare, and my partner tries to remind me of what we do have, and even though it's extremely stressful, and you watch Leave Everything in Wonder, Lucky Lou, on YouTube, the couple from Italy, I did show that they had gone through a lot of medical stuff, and then was reading some of their blog, or something that they wrote on their website or something about having all this stuff and being in these industries where you get paid a lot and it's glamorous, and going to visit, I don't know where they were, where people had like nothing, and they end up saying, hey, we're going to have like nothing. And I respect them for seeing that, trying to get out of that, working 60, 80 hours a week and catering to all these people, and not even getting paid okay, but it's more glamorous, then you're not necessarily getting paid your worth or your time. And I sometimes feel like I could go back to having nothing and not having all these clothes, and it's just, most of these clothes are like $3 shirts, but why didn't I spend the $3 on my student loan? I probably did, because I had Kohl's cash, because I needed socks and underwear, because I got fat eating salads, nuts, and zucchini and bananas every other day. Like, it's embarrassing. So the wearing white after Labor Day, I feel really sick. I'm gonna have to wearing white after Labor Day. This is, you called it. I said if I ever buy another Kohl's shirt, I don't know what I would do. So this was on clearance. It was a Kohl's cash or something, and I said I'm looking for white clothes for my series. So it looks like a leftover summer holiday patriotic. Oh, this is what I hate, guys. They put the sticker on there, and then you get like a stripe of dirt and fuzz and whatever on there. I don't even know if that's gonna. Oh, I knew that when I took the sticker off. I was like, ugh. So I'm gonna just be grateful for what I have, and grateful that I have another day to do my billing and to set appointments and to have a higher power. I think one of the hardest things for me is having had untreated and underdiagnosed learning disabilities and mental emotional diagnoses, having extreme abuse, different types of abuse from many different types of people, starting with my parents, and moving that, and with the systemic racism, the eating disorders that I had, the issues I had with beauty and not being good enough, the issues that I had with multiple times being homeless, with and without kids, and then coming into health field where nobody really believes that I'm running a clinic, and then letting myself dumb myself down so that I don't call the patients back and schedule, that I don't follow through, and that I don't do the billing in a timely manner, and this becomes a nightmare. And it's getting dark, so we've got about, a month until the winter solstice. So I've been feeling pretty weird about being up when it's still dark and going to sleep early in this time change, and my body had 2 or 3 weeks of a cycle. I feel anemic, was feeling dizzy. I feel okay. I still feel it. I've been feeling just nasty. That pool thing is really not helping. So just maybe today, just think about putting out my yoga mat. I can't stand people saying, I do yoga. Because yoga in my mind is like a religion. And it's like, I feel like I like to say I'm doing stretching, and maybe I'll put in a yoga tape. I used to go to a class, but there was some weird stuff going on that I had to be careful what I'm chanting, different language, and I was being cautious, especially when I was really into the church stuff and trying to be wise with my mind. I'm not saying something's bad, but it may not be what you think if you don't look into it. That's for anything. So that's for medicines, supplements, food items. It's, oh, this is good, but this is high quality ingredients. This is with a bunch of fillers. Maybe it's not so bad, but what if you have allergies, or what if you have intolerances, or what if you don't want to be surprised, or what if you think it's vegan and it's not, because it says corn on it. It could be with lard. You don't know. So I think it's good to be educated and wise. It's good to be ignorant too sometimes, because then you're in bliss, but how long does that bliss last? So I have to care for my ankle, do my exercises, get ready to go back tomorrow, and then for next month, and then get this stuff out So I'm going to give myself till 12 to do the charting, and then I guess till 1 to get to the post office. That way we'll have plenty of time before the sun sets at what? Was it 3:50 something or 4? Let's go ahead and look, and then I'll sign off here. I do these videos like I do my medical appointments. I want to get everything in. And when I was in another state of sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, I thought like I'd clean the house and do the whole house all at once. Why do I feel like... Oh yeah, they have it on here. So, sunrise 6:54, sunset 4:46 p.m. And I did get a picture from my friend who lives in Alaska that was very beautiful, and it made me remember how beautiful every area could be despite the goods and the bads, and how the sun sets and rises differently in Alaska and all the other places around the Arctic. And I think about that and what's it like at the equator? Is it more sun, the rotation, and the sun's closer to us, and we're wearing our sunscreen still, and all these different things. What about health? What about holidays? They got the Festival of Trees. I could see them sparkling in the window, and I didn't go last year because I didn't want to pay $10 each to go. I didn't go to the Waterfowl Festival because I didn't want to pay $20 each to go. And we spent that money on food, and we should have spent that money on our electric bill and our heat and our rent and the business fees, and we more than qualify for a food basket for the holidays. But when we go to the expired bread place, people stand in line for all the pastries and old bread, and sometimes it's already moldy. And they have lines for people that get food boxes and carts of fresh fruits and vegetables and dairy and meat. And we've never figured out. And cheese, we go to some places to get cheese and butter, and they don't give us the same, even if we have kids that we're helping support. And we are trying not to be picky about it, but it's harder when you're driving a 22-year-old car, or a car that's all beat up and pieced together, wearing clothes where the zipper doesn't work, and on your coat you're lucky to have the coat at all, the hood's falling off, and the people next to you that are getting all the butter and all the good stuff, the good extra vegetables, are driving a 2022, 2023 vehicle that imagine is 50 grand. And that's them. Who knows? Maybe they need that for work. Maybe they're borrowing their neighbors. But it's so hard. I mean, the people that are good at getting, and people assume that I'm going to be like that, and I might ask for help sometimes, and I give when I can. But in my heart, my biggest thing is for me to make a living, get out of debt, and get back, but also not neglect myself as I've been neglected by my family, and to pass on the loving and supporting yourself with loving and supporting my immediate family, so my partner and my kids and our rabbit. Peace.